Welcome to Berryland, a magical place where berries grow in all shapes and colors.
What you are looking at here is footage of Gray Girl and the 3 kittens back from July 4th, about 40 days ago. Today's August 14th, and I want to post a new video today, 40 days later, and show you what the kittens look like and how they're doing now. So I haven't seen the kittens or Gray Girl yet today. I'm just walking out the front door for the first time today and looking around. Usually I can find them pretty easily, and we all head out to the fallen big tree out in the backyard and have breakfast. So let's see if we can find them here. Gray Girl? Betty? Hey, Betty. Gray Girl? Gray Girl? Hey, Gray Girl. Hey, Bart. Hey, Lisa. Let's go have breakfast at the big tree. Come on, guys. Betty? Gray Girl? Where are you going, Gray Girl? It's time for breakfast. What are you doing down here? I don't know what's up with Gray Girl today. She, for some reason, seems like she doesn't want any breakfast. I don't know why. That's very unusual. She usually would be right up there with the 3 of them, all 4 of them together. Well, there we go. That's more like it. I don't know what she was thinking. So by this point, you've probably noticed that there's only 2 kittens, and in the last kitten update video there was 3. Well, the gray kitten has found a happy home. I never named the gray kitten. It found a home before I ever named it. Since then, I've named the black cat Lisa and the orange cat Bart. The people that took the gray kitten actually wanted Bart, the orange kitten, but they couldn't catch him. He didn't want to be caught. He was too fast, and the gray kitten was just the opposite and pretty much just jumped right in their arms. So they came to get Bart, but they ended up with the gray kitten. Well, while we're out here in the garden with the cats, might as well take a look at some of what's going on in the garden. Nice big squash plant there, or 2 of them there. That's a volunteer tomato. I did not plant that. I planted the squash. Did not plant the, well, not only that tomato, I didn't plant any of the tomatoes in this garden. Every tomato out here is a volunteer. That, you see that garlic sign there. I don't know what happened. All my garlic died. Not having a good year with that, but lots of stuff is doing great. This is interesting. Look at that. Now, I don't know if that's going to fall off and smash the ground when it gets bigger, but looks pretty healthy right now. Looks like it's doing good now. Eventually, this is going to be a grape arbor. The grapevines are young. They haven't climbed up this high yet. So this year, I'm letting the beans climb up it. They get to the top in just 1 summer or less than a summer, where the grapes will take some time to get up there. And these beans are very light, but you can see how sturdy I made this arbor. That's because the grapevines, when they eventually do get up here, they're going to be a lot heavier. There's a lot of mint growing in there, but it's kind of getting taken over by volunteer watermelons. Just like the tomatoes, I did not plant any watermelons. Every watermelon out here is a volunteer plant. There's another huge squash. Doesn't look like there's anything to pick on it right now, but I've been picking a lot of squash this summer from this particular plant. Oh, my purple basil died. I don't know what happened there. I think it's probably not good soil in that pot there, but it's got too much organic material in it. It'll be better next year as it breaks down more. And this little raised bed garden is for the sage, and the sage is doing really well, as you can see, but I had some volunteer peppers grow in there, hot peppers that are kind of taking over in there. So the green basil is doing pretty good, as you can see, or at least one plant. But that purple basil, it didn't last very long. Kale's doing pretty good. And then more beans climbing up another grape arbor here. There's the raspberry patch. They're done for the year, but well, for the most part. But I picked a lot of raspberries earlier in the year. And right here is another huge volunteer tomato growing in the berry patch. And another huge tomato growing in the berry patch. And I did plant the boysenberries in there. The pepper plant that you see there, if it shows up on camera, and the tomato in there, if you can see it, they're volunteers. Just recently, I had to put all the blueberries in this net, inside this netting here. I just had them out in the middle of the yard growing in pots. They were doing great for 2 years, and then one day the birds discovered the blueberries, and they ate every one in one day. And I had to build something right away. So it's not sturdy at all. You certainly wouldn't want to try to lean against this or anything, but it's enough to keep the birds out. That's the only point of it, and it seems to be doing the job. The blueberry season's done for the year, so I have the door wide open, but it does have a door I can shut. But since the blueberries are done for the year, there's no point in shutting the door here anymore. Hey, look, there's Betty. I guess she's done with breakfast. Hey, Bart, where are you going? Bart likes to climb up the poles that are holding up the netting for this blueberry cage. I don't know if he'll do it now. It'd be cool to catch it on camera if he does. Betty's hiding in the sunchokes. She does that a lot, I guess, just to get out of the sun. And here's more sunchokes over here. I originally just planted 3 bulbs, sunchoke bulbs, and now between this raised bed and that sunchoke bed over there, I have more than I know what to do with. They just keep on spreading. And I planted these sunflowers and these thimbleberries, but you can see inside the sunflower and thimbleberry area that there's tomatoes and watermelons growing. And once again, all the tomatoes and watermelons are volunteers. More beans. Oh, we were over here earlier. I meant to get something on camera. I thought this was pretty cool. When we were looking at the raspberries over here. Right in front of the raspberries, I didn't show this when I was over here before, is volunteer watermelons. And like right there, there's well, not four. There's two more. And there's one right there. There's 7 watermelons growing in this one little area here. Yeah, there's another thing I didn't show when we were over here. That's the grapevine that eventually will grow up on this heavy-duty grape arbor, but for now it's just the beans because the grapes, I don't know, maybe they'll get up there next year, but probably not until the year after that. All these fig trees out here, they didn't do too well last winter. I'm hoping to have a greenhouse to put them inside before the cold weather gets here. I've already started on that. I think we'll have the greenhouse here in time, but you know, who knows how that's going to go. So where the greenhouse is supposed to go over here, unfortunately, looks like I'm gonna lose my golf green. I'm not really a golfer. I just have a little fun with it, and I had enough room, so I thought I'd put in a golf green, and it's been fun. But it looks like that's where the greenhouse is going to go, and it looks like I'm going to unfortunately lose my golf green. Over here is supposed to be well, there's strawberries here. They've really had a rough summer due to the beetles. The beetles just been eating the leaves on them, but it looks like they're gone now for the summer. And these are ever-bearing strawberries, so they should make a comeback, and expect to be picking some strawberries soon. And this raised bed here, it's supposed to be, as you can see on the sign, it's supposed to be for asparagus only. But, you know, filling this raised bed with dirt from all over the garden, there's peppers and tomatoes and watermelons growing in here, which I did not plant. I did plant those sunflowers in there, but the peppers, the watermelons, and the tomatoes that are growing in this asparagus bed, I did not put them in there. This little area here, it's all flowers. It's too close to the septic mound, which you see right here, so I don't really want to eat anything that's growing this close to the septic mound. I don't think that'd be a good idea, so I decided just to grow flowers, something non-edible next to the mound. And same thing here, this is pretty close, so once again there's just flowers in here because it's so close to the septic mound. Now here I did plant chard and green onions, and it's close to the septic mound also, but it's raised up, so none of the roots are going to get into the ground, being they're growing that high up. And this chard was doing great earlier in the summer, and I don't know what's going on with it, but they were big giant plants with giant leaves earlier in the summer, and now they're so tiny you can't even pick anything on them anymore. I'm afraid I'll kill them if I pick them now, but hopefully they'll make a comeback. There's some baby apple trees out there. Those peppers don't look so good. Neither do those. But this one does. This looks good. We'll be picking some peppers on that one soon. And these just look horrible. We're in the middle of August, and look at those peppers. And once again, it's what I said earlier. This soil, there's too much unbroken down organic material in there. But if I just leave that same soil in there next year, that pot will have, well, I'm about 20 minutes drive from an Air Force base, and that got real noisy. Yeah, sometimes that happens when you live 20 minutes away from a United States Air Force base. But yeah, this I'll just leave that soil in there, and it'll start breaking down. And by next summer, that pot should, whatever I plant in there, should have great soil in it. Not much is going on back here. The septic mound is right here, so I don't really want to plant anything next to it that I want to eat, like I said earlier. But also, it's just too shady back here. Maybe someday if I cut some trees down. And here's one plant. It was here. I didn't plant this. I don't know if it's a volunteer or somebody planted it, but it was here before I moved in. There's another black walnut on the property. I don't know if I'll get it in this recording, but there is one more on the other side of the property. There's some black walnuts growing there, you can see. And yeah, while we're walking by here, for anyone who saw my video where the car crashed into the ditch, this is that area where the car crashed into and was stuck for 3 days until it finally got towed out by 2 tow trucks. But it's a little more overgrown now than it was back then. So yeah, here's the golf green from the other side. I think that's, yeah, right where the greenhouse is going to go. So yeah, unfortunately, bye-bye to the golf green. The tree guys came out and cut down a bunch of trees here in the pond. I need to have them come out and do more, but I don't want to have them cut any more trees down until I do something with all these logs. I got to get them out of here. Besides this pile I've got laying here, there's a whole nother pile of logs out there from another visit by the tree guys, and I'd like to get going on this pond and get the rest of those trees cut down, but I'm not going to have them cut those down until I clear up some of this stuff that's already cut down. I think before I get out of here, something new I just want to show. One other thing here. So the pond over here, it's empty. I drained it out. Every time it fills up from rain, we get a good rain and it'll fill up on one rain, but I drain it every time so that I can dig in it and so that I can cut down trees in it. Those are the pipes I use to drain it. And here's the ditch I drained it into, and here's something something I just did, this dam here. This wasn't here just a month ago. The point of this is I want to back up some water when it rains, and like I said, I'm pumping water out of the pond now into this ditch to empty the pond every time it rains. But when the pond's done, I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to pump water behind this dam, out of this ditch over into the pond, which is right here. So that's what all this is right here. This area back here, every time I cut down a tree or find any debris on the property, I sort it into all these piles, and when I go build a raised bed or whatever, garden stakes, crepe arbor, whatever I'm going to build, I don't go to the store, or I try to avoid it if possible. I come back here and whatever particular piece of wood I'm looking for, material, I know which pile it's going to be in, and I always run back here first before I run to the Lowe's or the Home Depot. I'll run back here and see if I'm able to find what I'm looking for, and usually I am. I think it's kind of funny to have a boat in your backyard. I've shown this boat before in other videos, but if you haven't seen it, this was before I moved here. This boat's sitting out here in the backyard. Yeah, unfortunately, Little Cat's not with us anymore, but he was the first cat to cross this bridge after I built it. So, and when we used to go on walks around the property, he's run over this bridge many times. So I named this bridge after Little Cat. The sea robin. Kind of wish I knew the story of how it got there, but I don't know anything. I've asked neighbors and I googled it on internet and got nothing. No idea how that got there. And then here's the other bridge to get back over the ditch. Another thing here, this has just been here since I lived here on the property. I guess it's some kind of freezer or something like that. It's really heavy. I can't move it by myself as a whole piece. Maybe someday I'll cut it up and get it out of here. But for right now, you can see I'm not using this land. As I keep building stuff and keep cutting trees down, maybe back here someday I'll be trying to use this land. But for now, I'm not. So that thing can just sit there. It's not in my way for right now. And this is just path leading back to the garden. No, I haven't done anything out here in this part of the yard other than removing trees and other kind of plants just to clear this path to walk through, but I haven't planted anything or tried to build anything back here. Now this is all my piles of supplies from the other side of the property. Oh, and yeah, I don't think I've ever recorded this. This is something else new I'm working on. I'm pretty sure never did any video of this yet. So this is a wild blackberry patch here. They were on the property when I got here. I didn't plant them. And then there's a mulberry tree, which I did plant in the middle of the blackberry patch. But anyway, that's not why I'm walking over here. I've started digging a second pond. This is much higher than the lower pond, higher in elevation, and you can see it's just in the beginnings. Very well. It's going to be smaller even when it's finished, but it's very small right now. But I'm going to pump water from the larger pond up to this one, and this is higher, so it's not gonna need a pump to run back to the larger pond. I've already tested this. If this little pond's full, this whatever you see here, the water flows through here, and it's all downhill. I don't know how it looks in the video, but this is all running downhill, and the water runs down through here and back into the larger pond, which, like I was saying earlier, doesn't really look like a pond right now because it's drained. But get a good rain and you know there's a pond here, that's for sure. And here we are all the way back to where the cat's are eating breakfast, and I think that's it for this video. I think I'm out of here. See ya.